How is it that nobody can do anything else to stop it? How is it that the United Nations has become so weak? This time I believe is more dangerous because this time the rhetoric is not so much as the US trying to use the United Nations to achieve its purpose, but now wants to get rid of the United Nations. They are talking about rules that no one has agreed to. I mean, the only rules we all agreed to in the founding of the United Nations was the UN Charter. From the Venezuelan tradition, we come from a Bolivarian revolution inspired by Simon Bolivar and the liberation and independence movements of the 1800s. And Bolivar had two concepts that I think are proper for our understanding of the United Nations. Bolivar spoke of the necessity of reaching or achieving the equilibrium of the universe. This is what he called, where not one country would impose itself upon another, but rather countries would be able to sit together in a space, see each other's interests, and have those interests balance each other out. I believe China understands this today. Venezuela does as well, and many other countries. Some people call it multipolarity or pluripolarity, but I think this is the concept that we're trying to achieve and that we're trying to make the UN safeguard, which is not a place where we go out to impose ourselves, but rather to balance out our interests in the search of a common good. Venezuelan migrants in the United States have been rounded up using a law that was used during World War II in the United States to actually create concentration camps against Japanese migrants and German migrants, and I believe Italian migrants as well. It was a law qualifying these people just because of their nationalities as enemies of the United States, and because they were in a time of war, they were, rounded up and detained in specific places. The United States is now using that same law, trying to now attack and round up Venezuelan migrants when Venezuela is not in a state of war against the United States, and these migrants are being kidnapped from the United States and taken to prisons in El Salvador. President Maduro last week just spoke to the Secretary General of the United Nations. He spoke also to the United Nations Human Rights High Commissioner and said, this is the same treatment that the fascists used to do, ultra conservative and racist policies that took place during the time of World War II. This is something that the United Nations has to stand up against. Memory is important because history is constantly trying to be rewritten. China has approached Venezuela in a way of guaranteeing mutual cooperation, mutual development, mutual benefit. And with that paradigm, I think China can teach the rest of the world, especially the Western world, that international relations can be built not in a place of constant blackmail and constant pressure and constant threat, but rather in a place of constant respect. So I am hopeful we can together build the world that we understand that we need, and that will really be the world that is going to help us strengthen our development and to guarantee peace.